About a year ago, I was bored living at home and decided it was time to gather all my things and restart my entire identity and move to a whole new country and have my eat, pray, and love moment. Only problem was I was fresh out of college and barely had much money. So here's the thing. The plan was to move to a new country for at least 4 months, get a job or at least make some money, and a place to live that preferably isn't a hostel or a cardboard house. I had 1 month to figure it out, and after exploring my millions of options, I landed upon this thing called volunteer travel. Basically, what this entails is that in exchange for some volunteer work, you can get a free place to live, and in most cases, free food too. So it's not a bad deal. Luckily, some of your hosts do offer a bit of pay. I used Workaway for this, but there are other options like Worldpackers, HelpX, and Woofing. And there's a lot more, but those are a few popular ones. What did I do to get this for free? There's so many different ways you can volunteer. A lot of people want help with cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids, teaching English like what I did, or social media, or filming, or landscaping. So if you have something you like or are interested in, there is probably someone out there who wants your help. How many hours a day did I commit? From my research of looking at so many different places, I found that most Workaway hosts or hosts in general ask for about 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. For my work, it was about 5 hours a day, sometimes more or less depending on how busy the school was. Were my hosts cool? How were my hosts? Honestly, I really liked them. I got really lucky with mine, and they were very flexible with me living with them. But you gotta do research on your host. This will make the biggest difference of your experience. Your host can make or break this experience, so it is important to find people you like. After all, you may be living in their home with them and spending so much time with them, most likely, so find someone you believe you can work well with and you will easily get along with. Obviously, you can't 100% know until you get there, but there are some steps you could take beforehand to make sure you're finding someone that is not gonna make you, want to pull your brains out or something. Here are my tips on how you can make sure you find a good host. 1. Hosts and Workawayers can leave reviews about each other's experience, so read those reviews, check those out, and you can even message the Workawayers personally and ask them further questions if there's something that they didn't write down. 2. Book a call prior. Your host will probably ask this anyway, but it's a good idea to FaceTime or let's call your host beforehand and have a conversation with them and ask them a bunch of different questions and see if you guys mend and fit well. 3, while you're on the phone call, ask a lot of questions. This isn't as much your experience as it is theirs, so ask as many questions as you like. What's the kind of work you're going to be doing? How long a day do they expect you to work? How many days a week? What can you do on your days off? Is it a boring town? Is it a fun town? What's the living places like? Ask anything you can think of, because if you're spending time with this person, most likely you're going to want to know all the details. 4, keep updated with your host to make sure this organization and no plans have changed during your time. You plan this to the time you'll be there. How did I set this up and meet my host? I used Workaway. Some of these cultural exchange websites do cost a bit of money. Mine was about $50 US for the whole year. Usually I am very skeptical about these websites, but I decided to pay because they do allow you to find a host without paying and use their website, and then when you do want to message someone, you have to pay that $50. But there are other websites that offer for free. The biggest thing, I think, is setting up your profile. You're going to want to spend a lot of time doing this and adding a lot of photos and making a good bio with all your interests and things, Hosts usually do get an overwhelming amount of requests, so make sure you build your profile so that you can stand out. Then, when you find a host you're interested in, send them a personal message with why you want to work with them and what you can offer in return. If you want more information about this, I can make a separate video about how to make your profile, because this is so important, I think. How did I make extra money on the side? Woo. Like I said, some hosts do offer minimum wage, but a lot of them don't. So if you find something that doesn't, you can probably also do a side hustle, something on the weekends to make that extra bit of money. Was it all worth it? The short answer is yes. It definitely wasn't the easiest experience. I had great hosts. I made great friends. I learned a lot, but I was so out of my comfort zone that sometimes I just wanted to go home. But I'm glad I pulled through. I think it was something that changed my life for the better. Honestly, I feel like I came out so much better of a person and so much stronger. So I'm happy I did the experience, but it was hard during the time. Would I do work away again? If I were to do it in the future, I would 100% want to do it to get to know a culture, to get to meet local people and meet new friends in a new country. But I probably would do it for a lot shorter amount of time, maximum a month, preferably around 2 weeks, because you are giving your time to someone and you're not making as much money as you probably could working an actual job. You know, you give and take, but it's more for the experience than it is about the money. I would also recommend this if you're moving to a new country and you have something planned out, but you don't know anyone in the city. It would be great to try this experience and see if there's any hosts in that area that you can stay a week at or 2 weeks at, and just to get to know the country a little bit more before you fully move there. If you have that opportunity, if you're moving to a new place and you're totally scared, try this for a week or two. And I think that'll help you ease into the place a little more. I hope this video was helpful and you enjoyed watching. This is how you live in a country for free. So try it out if you want and let me know if your experience was good if you've done it. Bye!